Today we're going to take a look at charting in Microsoft Excel, but I'm going to do it a little bit different. At school we have Microsoft 2003, but I know a lot of you guys at home have Microsoft Office 2007. So what I'm going to do today is show you on the screencast the 2007 version. At school I will also show you how to do it in 2003. There isn't a huge amount of difference, but obviously the newer version might have some different features that I want to demonstrate to you. Okay, so we're going to take a look at a couple of different charts today, and the first one, which is the easiest one, we're going to look at a simple bar chart. And what I'm going to do is start off by loading in some data. Okay, so we'll load in fast food as my first chart. And if you're wondering, hey sir, where's the lines? You can, take away lines, put the lines in, whatever you want to do, and it's in page layout in Office 2007, and it's right there. So you can have the lines in or lines out. It doesn't really matter. Okay, anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to make a chart of prices of hamburgers, fries, and shakes at the three popular sort of fast food places, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. And I don't really need the averages, and I don't want the totals. I just want the main information. But I also want the names. And when you do charts, what you usually do is you highlight like that. Only problem is I'm going to be highlighting this blank line, which is going to throw my chart off a little bit. So I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm just going to get rid of that line first. Okay, so it sort of squishes everything up. And now I'll highlight just the main stuff that I want. That's always the first thing you do when you make a chart. And in Office 2007, the charts are in the Insert tab. And there's a bunch of them there, and there's other ones that you can look at later on. So, like I said, I'm going to do a basic line chart to start off, or a bar chart sometimes it's called, or a column chart, and here's a bunch of different choices. We'll pick the most generic one right there, and within a matter of seconds your chart is basically done. Now you notice here that the stores, the fast food places, are along the bottom, and the types of food are over here. You don't like it that way? You can change it. If you look over here, it says switch row and column, and watch what we're going to do. That's the one we want. I want the food types down here and the stores over here. So all I did was switch the row and column. If I don't like that particular look, there's other things I can do too. Like I like to have titles on it, right? So let's press here where it says chart layouts. And it goes, hey, you can have some titles here if you want. Now you can add your other ones too if you want. What's this third one? Chart titles, and you have the foods there. That's kind of neat. So there's different layouts that you can pick. Not crazy about that one. This one's kind of good. So that one I like, and that one. So it's up to you. You can fool around and do all kinds of different things. Now where it says chart title, obviously, you can change that and put the actual, whatever you want to call it, fast food bar chart. Okay, you can do all kinds of things. Now, other things you can do, you can change the look of it. If you click on it and right click, you can do this thing where it says format the chart area. And I guess you could have a gradient fill, okay, and then if you don't like that color, obviously you can change it to something else. And that'd be a little bit too crazy. Alright, that's not bad. Okay, so there's other things you can do. You can change the border style, all kinds of things to make it look nice. But there, within a matter of seconds, is a simple example of creating a bar chart. There are some other features you can add to this. Now, you've got your basic title and you've got the basic chart, but it would be nice maybe to put titles along the axis and change a few other things. So first of all, what you do in 2000 version of Excel is you first of all click on this, and up here at the top you'll notice that it has chart tools. So design, what's all that? Well, actually we saw that already, right? So that's not bad. What about layout? Oh, all kinds of stuff in here. Chart title, okay, we've already got that. Access titles, don't have that. Primary horizontal, it's on none. And now, hey, it opened up, right? So you could put something down here. So why don't I put something in there, okay? So we'll just go food types down there, that's good. Access titles vertical. Let's put something there. And we'll rub that out. And we'll have prices here. That looks kind of cool, eh? Alright, so slowly you're getting together a good looking chart. And again, It's all from here. Format, what's all that? Oh, these different little things here. Well, that's different. As you press them, it changes a different look. Word style, ooh, I'm not crazy about that. That's not bad. What's that one? That's a different one. So there's all kinds of neat things you can do here. Shape, fill, shape outline, okay, shape effects, all kinds of neat things that you can change. I want to go back here for a second in layout. All right, so you can add pictures to this. You can do all kinds of neat things. You can add grid lines. All right, you can have minor and major grid lines. It depends on how fancy you want to make it, but at least you have an idea now that you can create a chart, you can do all kinds of extra features to it, and it's all available to you in this program. Last thing I want to do is, what if you want to put that in currency? Because that's money, right? So you click on it, you right click, format access, let's see what's in there, number, currency, and then you close. And there it is now with dollar signs on it. Okay, and there's our first example of a chart using Excel. Okay, our next example, I'm going to use demo 1, and this time we're going to make a pie graph. All right, and we're just going to grab this information. We don't need the items or the number. We just need that raw data right there. And we'll go to insert, and this time we'll pick pie. I'm going to pick a 3D type. I think that's kind of cool. And very quickly, there's our pie graph. This time we're not going to learn how to fancy it up, but what I want to do is add a couple of features unique to the pie graph. So let's click on the pie graph and right click, format data series. What's that about? You can change the fill, the border color. You can do, that's kind of neat. You know, I'm going to do something here in a second. We're going to explode a slice, but just wanted to show you that that was available. What else can you do here? You can, let's actually change, let's click on one thing actually. We're going to click right here, and we're just going to pull out this big one right here. This is called exploding a slice. So you've pulled one thing out to accentuate it. It's kind of a neat feature. What else can you do? All right, let's see if we can click on something here. Add data label. Oh, now you could have picked them all, and let's see, can we add the data label from there? All right. And what you can do is you can say show the numbers as percents and show them as the value. So each of them, you see the actual numbers, like what the actual number was on the chart, the notebook 35, and what percentage it was. Because when you make a pie chart, you're basically trying to figure out the percentage, and then you get a fraction of that as a pie chart. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so very quickly, simple example of using a pie graph or a pie chart. Okay, you want to pull something else out, you can click on just the one you want to work on. You want to just pick that one. It's a little bit tricky sometimes, so you gotta like really concentrate on which one you're going to pick. You can grab one, the words there, and pull it out. You can grab just the pie. You can stretch it out, and now they've all pulled apart. All right, so there's all kinds of neat things that you can do to your pie graph, and that's called exploding a slice. Our last chart is the trickiest one. Okay, so what I'm going to do at the beginning is do it the wrong way and show you why it's wrong, and then we'll figure out a better way to do it. So the example we're going to load in is called timely, and it's just information about people that work in companies, how many have that position, how much they get paid. Okay, so it seems pretty straightforward. So let's start off, and let's pretend, you know, we're just going to do what Mr. Shirley says, and we're going to pick maybe just a basic column 1. And then you're going, chart's done. But if you look at it very carefully, remember there's two types of things. Like there's the person, how many there are of that particular person. So there's one president, obviously, and one vice president, and then how much money they get. So if I look along this left-hand side where the axis is, you know, when you make graphs, you have to figure out what to go up by. So I guess the computer said, look at these gigantic numbers. Let's go up by 20,000, because I got to get to almost 140,000. So you're going up by 20,000, which is great. Okay, so these kind of mauve kind of colors, those are the salaries. But look at the number of people that have those jobs. Those are really small numbers, right? So like, where on the graph would a 1 be when you're going up by 20,000? Well, you can barely see it. So this graph is not very good. So what we have to do for this kind of graph is, first of all, have almost two graphs. Not really two graphs, but in this one graph, we're going to split it up. So we're going to have one axis over here on the left-hand side be for maybe money, and the other one's going to be for the number of people. So like, how do you do that? Well, you click on one of the things, and I can't see the other one, so I'm going to have to click on the bar that I see. And then I'm going to say Format Data Series. Okay, so there's going to be like a primary axis, and now we're also going to have a secondary axis. So that the first thing I just did there is I told the computer to have two axes. So see over here now you've got nice 5, 10, 15, 20, which is reasonable for these guys, and you still got the ones going up by 20,000. Now the colors are all mixed up though, like which one's going to be which. You know what? We shouldn't even have the same graphs for each separate piece of data. Why don't we make this one have like lines on it? So first of all, I'm going to click away from it. I'm just going to click that color there, and then I'm going to right click and change series chart type. That sounds interesting. What other chart could I make? How about we do a line graph? That one right there. I'm going to press OK. Now look at that. Now we've got two separate kinds of graphs, one for the salary and one for the number of years employed. Beautiful. Okay, so this is called a combination graph. So if you find yourself doing a chart that I give you, or you find that you have to use for a course, and you see one of the sets of numbers but not the other, this is how you're going to fix it. You're going to do a combination graph that's going to have one side be one set of the data, another side be the other set of data, and then you can see which one's which. Now, if you still don't like this, here's some other neat features you can do. You can right click on this, and then you can say Format Data Series, and you could have it actually show the numbers. Now, let's see, if we right click on it and add data labels, see those numbers show up? Now you're going, sir, you made a mess. You know what? I did. Let's widen it a bit so you can really see some of these. Okay, now that looks a little better. Okay, so see now, right on those little dots are the numbers. I guess you could do them for the blue ones too. And add data labels, and they would have the numbers on it too. Okay, so you've got two different examples now, and you've got them combined into one chart, and it looks nice. All right, so that's called a combo chart. The last thing I want to mention is, okay, what if you want to do a professional report for somebody, and you want to take this chart and copy it into like a Word document. Here's a Word document, and I'm just going to write something really quick. So the fancy word for what we're going to do here is called integrate. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to paste in an example that we've done, you know, the one we just did a few seconds ago. Now the only problem is we're going to work on it and do a special kind of paste. So we're going to click here, but we're going to use a paste special, a little bit different, okay? And we're also going to do this special kind of paste called paste link. And what's going to happen, it even tells you down here, it creates a shortcut to the source file. So when you change stuff in the Excel, it's going to change in the Office one of Microsoft Word, which is kind of cool. So first of all, it's not an object though. So if we're going to click this one, it's going to be an Excel chart object, and then we're going to press OK. And it loads in. It loads in kind of big. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab it so I can move it in and make it a bit more centered. And there it is. It's basically ready, and I can move it right there. Now the really cool stuff. Let's pretend I changed one of these numbers. Let's pretend right there where it says president, I have 20 presidents, which I know is stupid, but watch what this bar does at the bottom where the 1 is. See how it shoots up to 20? Now I'm going to go over to my document here. Sir, it hasn't changed there. Now watch. I'm going to press F9, and it's going to activate it. Okay, and then it shoots up. So as you change one thing, if you press F9, it refreshes this document here. And this is what happens in offices sometimes. You'll have one secretary working on an Excel document, and the other girl beside her is doing the Word document. She makes one change, and it automatically changes in the other one. That's kind of cool. That's called integration.